Hold on. Please give me a moment. Not quite ready yet. In the meantime, huge thanks to Surfshark for sponsoring this video. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Terminal 5 at LAX. My name is Scott. I'm the guy who writes everything over at SANspotter.com, and today I'm going back to New York on the JetBlue A321neo. But Scott, you say, you just did this exact same flight a few months ago. Yes, I did. However, it's going to be completely different this time. Today, I'm going to do it the cheap way. That's right. I'm flying basic economy class from the exact same gate and on the exact same airplane as last time. I already know that the Mint business class product on the A321neo is fantastic, but for this video, I'm going to see what the main cabin is all about. Rumor has it that it's pretty good, and I'm actually really excited to give it a try. I can't say that I'm all that excited about trying to kill time here in Terminal 5 again, though. Seating areas are limited, and there aren't all that many great views to the outside world, so don't be like me and show up obnoxiously early for your flight. Walking up and down the terminal from one end to the other gets old really fast, and I'm starting to get the sense that even the wildlife is starting to feel sorry for me. At least I've got my mobile phone and decently fast Wi-Fi access to help kill some time. Yes, the Wi-Fi here in Terminal 5 is fast, and I don't mean to say this in a bad way, but I'm sure it's awfully insecure as well. Thankfully, I'm using Surfshark, as always, which completely protects me from the danger of using public Wi-Fi like I am right now. It's essentially the best VPN that I've ever used, and I'm not just saying that because they're sponsoring this video. I was actually a Surfshark user before we ever teamed up. It's the only VPN that I use for 4 main reasons. First, it protects my data by encrypting everything, both inbound and outbound. I can use it to virtually change my location, and it'll even block ads and malware. Second, it'll notify me if my personal data has been leaked somewhere online. Third, I can access restricted regional content when traveling abroad. For example, the shows you watch at home on Netflix or HBO Max or anywhere else might be blocked in some countries, but not if you're using Surfshark. Finally, I really like the fact that with one subscription, I can use it on an unlimited number of devices. For a tech dork such as myself, who's always hopping from one device to the next, that is a killer benefit. Anyway, using the promo code SCOTT in the description below, you can get 2 years of Surfshark for 83% off the normal price. But wait, there's more. They're even throwing in an extra 3 months on top of that for free if you act soon, which, if you do the math, makes this an offer that is downright foolish to turn down. Seriously, I cannot recommend Surfshark highly enough, especially with an offer like this. I can, however, recommend not showing up for your next JetBlue flight out of LAX so dang early. This is brutal. We're just a few minutes away from boarding here at Gate 55A, and I don't know, does this look like enough people to fill an A321neo? Although this may look like thrilling footage of my boarding pass, I'm actually praying with all my might for an empty seat next to me once on board. By golly, I just might get it, too. Instead of boarding by zones, they called for the entire plane to board in one shot immediately after the 3 Mint passengers boarded. This is a really good sign, but I know not to get my hopes up because I have been on empty flights before where they group everyone together for weight and balance purposes. Which is kind of like winning a fancy car and then realizing that you can't keep it because you don't have enough money to pay the taxes. Okay, as far as basic economy seats go, this is looking really good. Legroom is decent, and yeah, I think this is going to work out just fine. There are very large video screens at every seat, which feature live TV, of course. And while this doesn't feel completely luxurious, I've got to say that it looks absolutely fantastic, and it's a huge improvement over the old, basic JetBlue economy product. I'm not exactly sure what this little doohickey thing is or what this icon is next to the video screen, but it's certainly nice to see power outlets at every seat. And I have to say that it's awfully blue in here. I really like this. You can tell that JetBlue put a lot of time, money, and effort into making the passenger experience of their newest generation aircraft better than the competition. And just when I thought that things couldn't get any better, the boarding door is now closed, and it appears as if I've scored an entire row of seats to myself for the long 5-hour flight over to JFK. Talk about getting lucky. This flight is maybe 40% full today, and anyone who wanted an empty seat next to them certainly got it. Okay, this is almost too good to be true. What's the catch? Am I being punked? Well, this is certainly turning out to be a really good day. Pushback from the gate happened right on time, as it should have considering how lightly loaded we are. At least they didn't cancel the flight, which they certainly could have, and it's happened to me before, so I say again, I know I got lucky today, and I'm enjoying every second of it. As we taxi out to runway 25R for departure, it's probably a really good time to let you know that with all the competition between LAX and JFK, it's really easy to score a good deal on one of these JetBlue A321neo flights in basic economy. I paid exactly $131.60 for my ticket, which is a killer deal because that even included seat pre-selection. It still didn't stop me from feeling like that I was getting punked, though. With my luck, some sweaty dude with a bag of onion rings and garlic fries will have to be relocated next to me for weight and balance purposes just after takeoff. And you know what? I wouldn't be shocked by it. At all. Scheduled flying time over to the John F. Kennedy Airport is a long 5 hours and 26 minutes today, which is long for an eastbound transcon, but I really lucked out by having an entire row of seats to myself. I already know that this is going to be a great flight, and I'm calling it already. It's going to seem a lot shorter than 5 hours. You'd be amazed how fast time goes by when you're free to man-spread like a slob in total isolation. One thing I noticed right away is how similar these video screens are to the one that I experienced in Mint business class just a few months ago. They're nice, and although I won't be eating quite as well as I did in Mint, this looks like a decent food for purchase menu. No, there was no chicken and rice option, unfortunately, but cheese and crackers will do just fine. I think I paid $9 for this. A total ripoff, I know, but there's just something really comforting about eating cheese and crackers on an airplane. And I will say this, as pathetic as this may seem, the cheese wedges were actually really good. I'm not totally convinced that it was worth $9, but just know that there are decently high-quality snacks available in basic economy in JetBlue if you're really hungry. And not only that, drinks and light snacks are available for free, so you definitely don't have to spend any money if you don't want to. Especially since there's an open snack bar located at the front of the economy cabin, where drinks and snacks are free for the taking for the entire duration of the flight. I'll show you that in a minute, but for now, I just want to sit here and pat myself on the back for scoring an entire row of seats to myself. I know that this required absolutely no skill on my part, but good job, Scott. You totally nailed this one. It's hard to tell from this angle, but this is a very empty flight today, which is pretty rare for a high-density route such as this. Maybe there's something major happening in the world today that I don't know anything about? Oh well, I've always been a really big believer that ignorance is bliss, so check out this cool brick pattern. If I had to guess, I'd say that travel demand across the board was lower at this time since it was right after the holidays, and there was that pesky new COVID variant making the rounds as well. I don't think for a minute that anyone is avoiding JetBlue or anything. I just somehow managed to pick the best day to go, I guess. Oh, and since I'm up, I might as well show you the complimentary food pantry at the front of the economy cabin. Looks like we've got some snacks here, and a full cooler of all kinds of canned drinks, except for alcohol, of course. Seriously, this is exactly the kind of thing that all the other airlines need to be worrying about. Having access to unlimited snacks and drinks on a $130 basic economy ticket is just one of the things that will keep me coming back to JetBlue for a very long time. Again, I know that this had absolutely nothing to do with me, but I have to say it again, good job, Scott. You really nailed this one. Even if this flight had been completely full today, I'm very sure that I'd still be enjoying this. The video screens are awesome, and the tray tables are just large enough to get some work done. But who am I kidding? Despite the free Wi-Fi, I did maybe 1 hour of actual work on this flight, thanks to all the great video entertainment on tap. I am firmly of the opinion that the video entertainment here on the JetBlue A321neo in economy is better than what any other airline is doing at the moment, at least in the US. Oh, and remember that weird icon that I showed you earlier? The purpose of that was to let you know that you can connect your mobile device and you can use it as a remote for the entertainment system. It's pretty cool. Unfortunately, neither of the power outlets in my row worked, which kind of sucked. By the way, Neil and Simon, if you're watching, please, pretty please, make a review of JetBlue A321neo economy class when you get the chance. You're both a lot more thorough in your airline reviews than I am, and I just want to make sure that I'm not totally off base on my assessment of this being a really, really good economy product. In terms of criticisms, I'd have to say that the seats are just a little bit hard. Bony butt types such as myself will enjoy long flights in these seats more with just a little bit of extra padding. So don't forget to put something soft and squishy into your carry-on bag for emergencies. No need to go overkill though. A few pairs of used underwear would probably be all that would be needed to take the edge off. And on that unpleasant thought, welcome to New York. We got a really nice view of uptown Manhattan on our way in, which was the perfect way to end a really great flight across the country. I don't know about you, but I always love flying into Kennedy Airport from the west. If the weather is just right, like it is tonight, there's usually lots to see all the way in. From the ground, though, not so much. It was a short and not very scenic taxi over to Terminal 5, and by the time we got there, it was pretty much JetBlue A320s and A321s for as far as the eye could see. Can you imagine what this lineup would be if it was January 1975 instead of January 2022? As George Carlin used to say, thems were the days. A huge shout out goes to all the SANspotter patrons, Aaron Slater, David Kelly, Riley Wingo, and everyone else on this list. Your support is very much appreciated, and I am so very thankful that you've all hung on for as long as you have. Speaking of hanging on for dear life, I can't imagine there are many of you left who are still watching. My YouTube analytics tells me that most people run for the door just as the landing process starts, so for anyone still here, what the hell are you hoping to see? I do appreciate you sticking around though, so thank you. Anyway, that's it from me this week, so safe travels, and I will catch you in the next one.